The Todd Shapiro Show.
Time to hit the button!
On Canada Talks, SiriusXM 167.
Okay, welcome back to the program. One of our regulars on the show, he jumps on, every other month or so, and he's become, a buddy of mine off air, and someone who I really admire for everything he's done, from a 14-year-old gamer to being the CEO of Enthusiast Gaming. Please welcome Menashe Kestenbaum. Hey, how you doing, Menashe?
Good. Oh, thanks. That's amazing. I enjoy our friendship as well. It's been amazing since we went public and you started having me on. Now we get to, share some off-air friendship as well.
Yes. Well, it's always nice. Good piece of advice, I think, for anyone in any sort of industry. It's always nice to, hang out with those people you work with and those you know, and develop friendships. And it's amazing how things sort of progress from there. So how's the gaming space doing?
Gaming space is about to explode. It's, we're really in the first inning of all this whole eSports gaming craze. I'm really happy 4 or 5 years ago we got into this to give us that kind of head start, mature the company to where we wanted it to be. And now, that first inning, we're trying to help bring that to the second inning. The cannabis space is, what would you say, the 9th inning right now?
Listen, I actually think 7th inning. I think Canada's got a couple more innings, and maybe in the States we're in the 5th or 6th.
Yeah, exactly. So esports is really early on, but everyone sees the trends. We recognize, we grew to 150 million visitors monthly. We have pretty significant revenues. We have 55,000 people at our show. So we reached a certain critical mass where we said, now we'd really like to enter the esports space on a larger level, something that we could, be kind of the forefront of this whole thing. So, the news today is quite exciting. We've been kind of saving this for a while, working on it since last June when I went with the CEO of the Vancouver Canucks, the Aquilini Entertainment Group, the owners of the Canucks. They had built a gaming company to own a whole bunch of esports companies. They bought Luminosity, who have 7 championship caliber teams. They bought the franchise for Vancouver to the Overwatch League. And today we announced that we are merging with them into hopefully something even more massive. I think it's really important to have that critical mass, to have that really large market cap, something that, we could really make a mark in the space. They have the content, right? They have the teams, the players, the influencers, all these people who have, 50 million social media followers. So when their players go around and talk about something, everyone listens. We have the data, the users, the user base of 150 million visitors monthly. When you combine those two, I think we're working on trying to become the largest vertically integrated gaming company, esports company. And one of the first being publicly traded.
Menashe, that is just massive, massive news, and congratulations first off. I know how this is not only, your business, it's really your passion. It's everything you've done for, decades now. And getting to know you through the show and through off air, as we discussed, your desire to grow this company is just what you're doing, and you're promising, all the community that you work with through Enthusiast Gaming that you would do that. You're promising your shareholders at EGLX that you would do that, and now an acquisition with the Aquilini family and the Aquilini Game Co., I believe. So, like the business side of things, can you divulge how that works?
Which aspect?
Just in terms of a merger, what it means to shareholders. I mean, this is pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 50-50. They bring $25 million in cash already sitting in sub-receipts, another minimum 10 in this bought deal convertible debenture that's accompanying the transaction. So it'll be at least $35 million with us, that we could use for future acquisitions. On top of that, they have, Adrian Montgomery, who's been running the Canucks entertainment, and he's run massive funds. He's, I'm kind of a self-starter, self-taught entrepreneur, which is, it's cool in Silicon Valley. There's a certain aspect to that of really loving to grow things. But, you bring someone who's overseen billions of dollars billion-dollar companies, we bring his flair into it, and we have a very close relationship. We went to LA together to E3 last June. We spent a lot of time over the summer. So this has been worked on for at least a year, this partnership.
Too funny. Adrian Montgomery is a name from the past in my life, which is very ironic. So
really?
Yes, yeah. We've been to many sporting events together and stuff. So really ironic.
Yeah, he worked at Rogers as well. So he brings a certain level of experience of, we want to get from this kind of $100 million market cap level, fully diluted that we've been at. And, we're thinking, how do we become a $1 billion esports company? How do we become something that's really top of mind? And then you bring his type of experience. You bring the backing of one of Canada's most prominent families like the Aquilinis, to provide a safety net and support and resources to this. You bring all their championship teams, and I think the story just becomes a lot more powerful. And it's something that we could, we really think we could take to the moon right now. It's our opportunity.
Well, two massive powerhouses merging is always good for business, I would think. What you get some cash? What does the Aquilini Group get?
The Aquilini Group brings the cash, but they're going to be 50% of the new merged company. So I think that the shareholders of both sides are now part of a stronger story, which we think hopefully the market will react positively to. Definitely, I think on the business side, it's going to be positive. So the strategic value and the accretion that we could do based on M&A and consolidation, it'll be more powerful what we're capable of doing for shareholders.
And if you now are sort of 50-50 owner, it's this like true split. What does that mean for a CEO position for Menashe Kestenbaum?
So it's going to be split management and split board. So, public companies, you can't really do co-CEO. It doesn't really make sense. People don't do that. What we've focused on in terms of our skill sets is Adrian focusing on the external roles of the M&A, capital markets, fundraising, opening doors to very strategic partnerships, and helping maintain the vision. I will be president, focusing more on actually growing the internal company and operating that. So it's almost like an external and internal CEO. But I think we'll both have a little bit of each other's roles that we'll have to play in as well. But I think it'll bring a lot more experience to the overall board. Francesco Aquilini will be sitting on the board as the chairman of the board. So we've got a lot of strength there. Oh,
that's so wonderful. And is that, a little bit easier on you? Maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but really getting back to doing the part that you love to do, which is focus on sort of the gaming side and the community side as opposed to worrying about maybe the public markets, because that is tough being the CEO of a publicly traded company.
Yeah, there are definitely aspects of the public markets, being on the streets, going out, building relationships with investors. There's a part of that I really love and enjoy. But I think if you had to ask me where I love being the most, it's building the actual company. I love building things, right? So I think he's someone who obviously has the pedigree to speak to the streets, speak to investors, communicate the message, broker the deals. So I think that we're actually going to be more effective. One of the things when you're scaling so rapidly, 2016 we were a $3 million business. Growing to $100 million valuation, and now trying to get to $1 billion. So that's a scaling thing. It's internally, you're trying to set up your team, your hierarchy, and really scale rapidly and aggressively. And sometimes you're stretched in terms of talent and, hiring quick enough. So I think that this really sets us up in a new kind of a way to have really, really strong talent from both teams, all pushing in the same direction, aligned as one team, and I think we'll just be able to accomplish even more.
Menashe, I'm so happy for you and everybody over at EGLX and Enthusiast Gaming. I know how the commitment, not only just you, but the entire team, and how hard you work. And like I said, your passion, your drive, your energy for a space that you have a vision for, really. And you have a vision for it because you've been doing it ever since you were a young child, and you've watched it grow. And now to have all these different acquisitions, to have this merger, to have a gaming team, I'm excited to go and support it as a fan in arenas one day, and just be a part of it and be able to talk to you and learn from you. So thank you to Menashe Kestenbaum, and congrats on anyone involved within both the Aquilini side and now the obviously Enthusiast Gaming merger. It's brilliant. I'm really excited just to see how not only your community reacts, how the gamers react, but how your shareholders react. It seems very exciting, and we do really appreciate your time. I know how busy you are right now.
Thank you, Todd.
Menashe, thanks so much, man. Cheers to you.
This is the Todd Shapiro Show on Canada Talks, SiriusXM 167.